Hi and welcome to another session of advanced readings. This is a technique that we use in spiritualism a lot, and it also inspired me when I had the oracle readings through the Nadi oracles, where messages were given to me thousands of years in advance, mind-boggling stuff. And also, of course, it's used in when you're using clairvoyance by email reading and sometimes by telephone. You know things before the person calls you. So I'm inspired by this technique and I hope it helps you. There could be a message here for you today. So you'll see me working in blue light for this, because this is how the medium can get close to spirit. We often use a red or blue light in my circle, particularly if you're doing physical or trance work. Anyway, hope you enjoy these sessions. I'm getting something about the army. There's army links connected with this next communication, and I'm hearing the surname Stevens, and it may be a John with this as well. The names might not be John Stevens, there's a John connected with this as well, and I hear in the name Stevens, so I want to put the two names connected with each other here. And this person, I feel, fought in the desert, so I'm somewhere like Iraq or Afghanistan. I'm getting that sort of feeling with that I passed while I was in battle. In fact, I get the feeling here that this is a mine, I feel, that's killed this person. It's a young man that's making the communication for you here. Who's the recipient for this? He's trying to reach out to a lady out there, a female person that's watching this, I feel. And they too have had a lot of illnesses at the present point in time. I get you've had lung conditions and lung worries that have been a concern for you, but I feel that's being sorted. I've got to say, I feel it's working out. Your doctors are dealing with it and you're going to be all right. That's the feeling I get. But he wants to reach out to you because you've been suffering too. He said although it was a mind that took him, I feel that he was a brave fighter because he was actually in action. I've got him, I'm not just support crew or anything like this. I feel I'm right on front line here fighting with this, and it was almost made him angry a bit that it was a mine of all things. He'd rather have died fighting rather than died when the battle had stopped. And there it was, he says 3 of us died together. There was 3 people that died on that same day who all knew each other, and 3 families were informed at the same time. Okay, so he's a very brave man, I feel here, and I get a sense with him as someone that you could always really rely on. He's a sort of he gives me a Prince Harry feel, chums with everybody. I got a feeling he might have even met Prince Harry. I've got a feeling he might have met Prince Harry, so it must be Afghanistan if I'm getting that, but I'm getting the feeling that's me adding thoughts in there. So, but anyway, there's something there about he met the royals, and there's something like that he's saying to me here. And this man, as well as being a soldier, he also had an exquisite taste in music, because he plays me absolutely beautiful music here. We're not talking about sing-along music or anything like that. We've got something that seems very beautiful sound to the music. It's almost like a beautiful violin he plays. Okay, so that seems very incongruous with an army personality, but there's this thing about a love of the beautiful music with him. And he was quite well educated as well, very well educated. Understood and knew all about the history of warfare, for example. He knew about the history of Rome and places like that. But he comes with a lot of love, and I want to give him the message to you from him to say that he's with you, looking over you now. And he just wants to give you, I feel he wants to say to you not to worry about the illness, because I feel, obviously continue with your treatments, but it's working, he says, and keep with it. And I just feel all types you're seeing the doctors, but you're also getting some holistic health as well, working complementary with each other. And he's saying you're on the mend. You're on the mend. In fact, you've turned a corner, he says to me. Ever since you sold the house, things got better, strangely enough. Okay, so let me pass his love on to you with that message. So maybe that message was for you, and if it was, please do leave a comment in the comments below on YouTube so that other people can recognize that this is real. I mean, if you look back at some of the older videos, you'll see that some of the most strange and obscure messages have been taken to the letter, and there's been some interesting stories that have developed once a person has made the comment. So leave a comment, and even if the message isn't for you, it's still a good idea to leave a comment, because this helps spirit to connect with us and maybe get you a message next time. Okay, I've got a lady communicating with me now who, she's a bit scatty actually. She's coming in her spirit form to me. She's a bit scatty, she says. She reminds me of someone I know actually, but her name, she's given me a name that people would know about, which was Dot. So I presume her name would be Dorothy, wouldn't it? But Dot, she calls herself. And this lady has a very good sense of humour. I feel as if she did something like, she may have done something like school teaching in her life, because I get this teacher feel. But again, I get the sense that she lost it towards the end. You know, she didn't keep her all her faculties, mental faculties, she says. And she's reaching out to someone, I think it's an S name. I don't know whether I'm a Susan or a Sally, something like that. An S name she's reaching out to, of the person that's watching this today, or certainly knows is connected with the family around you. And I'm getting feelings of places like Kent, and as far down to Portsmouth. So I'm in England with this one, I feel, and I'm looking around that sort of area, and south of London, basically to south of London to the east. She's taking me for some reason. So I don't know if you lived in that type of area. Could it be Reigate? Is that round there? I'm not sure if I got that right, but I got something like that is coming to mind here with her. And there was some confusion with the will, I've got to say. They had to split the will in an unusual way, because one of the people that was supposed to be a beneficiary of the will died before they got their share. And so I feel that the will had to be planned again, so you would understand that. And the person that's receiving this message has also been doing something with your diet lately. You've been doing some important dietary changes. I don't know if you've been fighting diabetes. Again, I get a feeling of positivity here, as if I'm overcoming this at the moment. I think I must have a healing guide working with me today, because I just want to encourage this person too, who's receiving this message, that you're gonna crack your diabetes too. You know, type 2 diabetes. I feel cracking that. And it's odd, because this is another little fact. You would have received 3 letters at the same time, but they were unusual letters. They weren't just like junk mail letters, but there was 3 letters at the same time from people you knew. And we don't often get letters nowadays, do we? So I get 3 letters at the same time, and you would have received that just recently. I feel it's at the time just to qualify this message a little bit more for you. And this Dot here says she loved making home jams, particularly loved making marmalade, and she was very good at making marmalade. Okay, anyway, the message is that she's just showing herself. She wants you obviously to know that you're going to get better with your health. Obviously you keep working on the diet. I feel it's working, and I feel that she's giving me a sense of just pleasure to be around. And it's nice because she talks also that there was a new baby came into the world this year, and this is another positive thing she talks about. And again, good health there, she says. Okay. Okay, this message is actually for somebody I feel that's just lost a dog, because I'm seeing around me a dog. There's 2 dogs actually that come together actually for this. So I feel the person would have known these 2 dogs, and I feel I've got a Cocker Spaniel here and a collie dog. The 2 seem to come together as if the dogs relate to this person that's receiving this message here. And now who's giving me the talk about this? The dogs can't tell us what's what, but they need a human communicator to tell us. There's a gentleman on the spirit side that's bringing the animals forward. He would have been a great lover of dogs himself, and I feel he says Bob and Jack, so why did I get two names at the same time? I don't know if there's two of them or if that was something related to the dogs even, but he's talking about Bob, and I think the man's name is Jack, but I think the dog, one of the dogs might have been called Bobby or Bob. I've got a feeling with one of the dogs that might have been the sheepdog, and he's just letting you know that the dog is safe, right? Because this is the person that's just lost this animal is in great grief at the moment because you've lost your animal. You know, you lost your friend. It's like losing a child. You lost your baby. He says to me, but he says wanting to give the message to know that the dogs do survive too in the spirit world. You see, and he's giving, and he's a very kind man. I want to say with him, very friendly, kind man who would never had much money, but was always doing things for people, always seemed to have the time for people, always seemed to want to work to make things good for people. He's the sort of guy that would do everybody knew him because he was clearing your guttering and mowing your lawn and doing the little things and fixing a plug. He was always helping people, you know, particularly older people. And this Jack got to know all the animals because he would move around a lot of older people, he says. He met a lot of older people who had pets. And so he says, I help the pets on the other side. He says, I've been helping all the pets come over until their owners come over to join them. And I mean, the message from him is that, you know, life goes on for all life. You know, life goes on for the animal kingdom as it does for the human kingdom. And especially our pets, they gain a certain amount of consciousness, a certain amount of self-awareness by having encountered human love. So you've brought their spirit up, he says. And actually, he was not a spiritualist, this man. He was a very strong Christian, actually, and in life would probably have been a bit uncertain about the idea of talking through mediums. But I feel he's making this communication with a complete clear conscience, he says to me, because he's seen the bigger picture now. That's how he's talking to me here. And the person that's receiving this message also, I've got to say, you had some trouble. I mean, I feel you've been a Christian and you lost your faith a bit. You know, you've been through a bit of a dark night of the soul. And he's saying, keep your faith. He's saying, keep your faith. Okay. All right. So that's his message to you. So I hope that helped, because it's lovely doing this and giving messages to people out there, and I know some of you get very excited by the messages that you get, so thank you for your feedback. And if you do enjoy watching all this, why not come and get a reading at my website, because I've got a team of readers, you know, that are on there 24/7, and there's lots of special deals there at the moment. For example, in the UK, if you're a new customer, you can use our welcome offer and get 29p a minute for the first 10 minutes, so you can try a reading for very little. Same with the USA, we've got 59 cents per minute for the first 10 minutes on the welcome offer. So thanks for watching my channel, and do come back and follow us. Click that little bell thingy at the bottom of the page there. We do loads of things here, as well as all these readings. We've got my family involved, we've got all sorts of investigations, we've got my mystic talks, so we're inspired, we got lots of readings, you'll see our stuff with the media and all sorts of things. So keep watching, and keep watching now, because coming up will be the playlist of more videos like this one today, so there could be another message there for you today.